So speaking of heroes and villains and highs and lows, you grew up in Las Vegas, and you said that Vegas is a performing town, a town of high stakes, drama, and eccentricity. It's a town of high highs and low lows, and I'll be damned if my therapist didn't point out that correlation out to me personally a long time ago. Uh, so to me, Vegas from the outside is romanticized by certain movies. The lows define the beauty of this town, and certain movies. So to me, Casino, uh, with Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Sharon Stone. Leaving Las Vegas with Nicolas Cage. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas with with the Johnny Depp playing Hunter S. Thompson. First of all, what's your favorite representation of Vegas from a darker side? And do you draw any wisdom, insight from the darkness, the lows and the highs from in those movies, or is it over romanticized?
So I grew up in a really conservative Mormon family, and Vegas was established by the Mormons and the mob. Those were like the two very different worlds that created what Vegas is. And if you live in Vegas, it really shows in a lot of ways, because Vegas has the strip and the parties and the craziness, but it also has very like neighborhoods and big families and conservative people and liberal people living together in a really interesting way. And for me, growing up here, for instance, was a lot of like driving on the freeway, my mom being like, "Children, close your eyes. There's a naked woman on that billboard," and everything. "Okay, Mom." On our way to church, you know what I mean? It was like, but also being like, "Whoa, this is crazy. This is," you know what I mean? Like taking in whatever I could when I could. So I saw, and I'm grateful for that. Like, I really love that I didn't grow up as a Mormon in, for instance, like Utah or something, like the typical place, because I saw both sides and I appreciated something from both sides. And now, as a person now who's not religious but just spiritually minded, you know, I'm grateful for that divergent character, that juxtaposition, dual-edged sword that Vegas is, and I try to apply that to everything in life, which is, it's like Johnny Depp and Amber. It's like there's two sides to every story. There's always two sides to every coin. There's always, and there's something to be said for both. Like I try to see people and even if, it's just, I try to apply that to life. As far as a movie that personifies Vegas or something in that medium that personifies Vegas in a way that resonates with me.
Don't say Hangover.
No, yeah. I also, like, I wasn't even allowed to watch PG-13 movies growing up. So a lot of the movies that you're saying, like I didn't have cable television. I wasn't like a pilgrim, but I had a really, really conservative upbringing.
So it didn't define your intellectual like development.
No, I just I can't think of any movie that comes to mind where I'm like, that's my Vegas movie. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure I've seen some of the movies you've said now, but I can't think of one that I'm like actually personifies Vegas in a way that feels honest to me. Like, or like, wasn't there a Chevy Chase? Was there a Chevy Chase?
Yeah.
I think that's maybe the only one I thought of that came to mind, where I was like, because I love Chevy Chase so much that maybe it's one of his Vegas Vacation or something.
Yeah. So, but that's more like lighthearted, absurd, that kind of stuff.
Right. It's not like, I guess what I would say is there's no truth that has been that I've seen of Vegas, because what I see of Vegas is there's obviously like the parties and stuff and the nightlife, which I'm not a big party person, so I haven't really experienced much of that. But there's also drugs, and I have a strange relationship with drugs because I've lost a few friends to drug overdoses, and so that's not romantic to me. But there's also like, I mean, you asked for a dark reflection of it. I guess I certainly see a dark reflection to Vegas, and I feel like Vegas is typically personified as like at the tables and everything but it's also like, I have like friends who've lost all their money to gambling addiction, and so it's like, what I guess
underbelly to the whole thing.
Yeah, somebody maybe needs to maybe that's an open spot. There needs to be the dark side to Vegas. Well, and it's about Mormons in Vegas dying of drug overdose or getting shot by the mob.
Yeah.